Hello YouTube lovers, this is Shubhrojit from Working Matches YouTube channel. So this is our first ever video. So hope you will like it. If you like it, do subscribe our channel and hit the subscribe button to get all our videos. You can also press the bell icon so that you can be updated with all our videos. So this is our first video on the playlist, which will be continued or created by me. It's called the Classic Game Series, where there will be amazing games played by our ex-world champions or our former world champions. For example, Alexander Alekhine, Joshua Capablanca, then Mikhail Botvinnik, many more. And obviously, one of my favorite players was not the world champion, but he was the best player in his time, named Paul Murphy. So we will discuss all our games in short. I have analyzed it already, and I'm just giving a game review so that everyone can improve by this short analysis, and the time consumption will also be a bit less. So let's get started. So this is our first game played between Wilhelm Steinitz versus Kurt von Berdeleben. So Steinitz was the first ever world champion recognized by the governing chess body in the world named FIDE. So, so basically, what is William Stein's contribution to chess? Nowadays, modern chess has improved a lot because of Sir William Stein. He introduced the concept of defense. Back then, if we sacrifice something, it's like you're forced to capture. Like in the checkers, for example, you put up that round pawn kind of thing in front of a pawn and you're forced to capture it. Similarly, back then in chess also, if something opponent has sacrificed, they are also forced to capture. But the thing is that Sir Stenich was told that sacrifices are not meant to be accepted. They can be rejected also, by the way. So that's all about sacrifices and his contributions in chess. By the way, Stenich was a very attacking player. So in this game, white played the move e4, played the move e5, and white played the move knight f3. So always develop with threats. So back then, many gambit openings was played. For example, the king's gambit, the knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c5, d4, which is called the Ivan gambit. So why these sacrifices are played, by the way? Sacrifices, I will be making detailed videos on sacrifices, defenses, pawn structures. If we get the support from the channel, so hope we will get it, and I will continue my journey to the channel. By the way, why the sacrifices are meant? The sacrifices are meant to open lines and files of the chess pieces as well, so that we can develop our pieces as early as possible. This is the main purpose of sacrifice. So, by the way, in this f4, e takes f4, knight f3, g5. Like if you play bishop c4, it's called the Mugio gambit. The knight c3, Quade gambit. Okay, let's just see the game out. After knight f3, knight c6, let's not go into details in the openings. If we play the knight f6 is the two knights defense. If we play something like d3, then it's the Italian. And in bishop c4, bishop c5, again if we play the move d3, it's the Italian. But c is also an opening. Knight f6. So if we play the move d3, then also it's the Italian opening, but dynamic opening here is d5, d4, he takes d4, so e5 can also be played here. It's called Anderson's opening here. Anderson's opening. So anyways, we can capture the pawn, c takes d4. So if you play something like bishop b4, bishop b6 and all, then we can just push the pawns in the center of the board to checkmate our opponent king. So that is the move bishop b4 check. After you play bishop b4 check, white is having two moves. For example, bishop d2 and move knight c3. So bishop d2 is a main line. Let's see one quick game played by Alexander Kostyniuk versus Tomaszewski in the Sochi Tal Memorial Blitz 2014. So after bishop d2, bishop takes d2, knight takes d2, and now d5. Black is telling that after I play d5, you are forced to capture the pawn. Otherwise, I will capture the e4 pawn. After you capture the pawn, you are having an isolated queen pawn. So this is the pawn structure, which is very important to know. And one important thing in IQP is we should not exchange our pieces if we are playing with the IQ, because the more we exchange, the more it will go into the end game. And what will happen if it goes to end game? The thing that will happen in the end game is the king will simply come to d5 and will capture the pawn somehow, by making some reserve tempos and mating moves and all. Those are some advanced concepts. So white played the move short castle, and rook c1, knight b6, bishop b3. Now a thread is d5. If you play knight e7, so the basic concept in IQP is also to blockade. You're playing against the IQP. Your main concept is to blockade the IQP pawns square. So like e4 is the IQP pawn, so we have to blockade its front square so that it cannot move. So this is the game, and knight c5. This is one typical idea in the IQP to sit with the knights on c5 and e5, which eventually the female world champion Alexander Kostanin did. So knight ed5 was played in the game. Took e1, developing all pieces into the play. b8 is a dubious move, or we can say it a bad move also, because it was not really necessary. Knight e5, bishop f5, queen f3, bishop e6. Now the thing is that after you play queen g3, knight c7, just we are simply capturing, and after we play the move rook e4, rook g4, h4 is coming, and it's winning for white. Um, Knight e5, rook h4. Just let's see the game quickly. After we play the move bishop c2, queen e7, and now queen h3. g5 is a bad move because we are playing the move rook h6. After we play queen g7, it is white to play and how to continue. So if you are successful, you can pause the video and think. If you are successful in finding the move bishop takes h7, sacrificing the bishop, you're great. It's very like good, great of you. So after we take the pawn, bishop takes h7, knight takes h7. The simple tactics is rook g6, and black is just losing his queen. So this was a beautiful game played by Alexander Kostigo. So now let's proceed to the game. In the game, knight c3 was played. Now knight c3, it's called the molar attack. The molar attack is very trappy and fishy for white if black don't know the theory. But if black knows the theory, then definitely black is getting a better position out of the opening. Let's see one trap or one short opening or one short game. So white played the move short castle, bishop takes c3. What is the main idea of molar attack is to open all the pieces, files and lines. After you play d5, black played the move knight e5, and after bc3, knight c4, queen d4, centralizing our queen, knight d6, queen g7, queen f6, takes. This is a better position for white. White should play the move rook e4. Why is it so? Because we are just ruining the castle of our opponent's king. After king d8, it is forced winning for a white after the move bishop g5, knight e8, rook takes e8, boom, and it's a rook sack here. After you play king e8 and rook e1 check, king f8, bishop h6 check, king g8 and rook e5, and now it's a beautiful mate coming on rook g5. So let's proceed to the game. Let's start from the beginning so that you can follow up. E45, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c5, c3, knight f6, d4, d4, cd4, bishop b4 check, knight c3. And after you play something like d5, which was played in the game, it is transposing to almost a Geico piano openings game played by Alexander Kostanin that we saw just now, a few moments ago. We are capturing it is d5, knight d5, short castle, bishop e6, and after bishop g5 is a very good move, just threatening the queen. If you play the move f6, which is a bad move, then why is it a bad move? Because the bishop on e6 is weak, and you are making weakness on your king side. So g7, the logical move is whenever a piece is attacking your piece, just exchange that piece. In this logic, part 1 Bander 11 played the move bishop e7, and there is a huge exchange in the center, and bishop takes e7, knight takes e7. It is again white to play. What should white play? It is not a winning, but how should white continue? yes, white should play the move rook e1. After f6, black is forced to play because black cannot castle and black needs to make his king safe. So white is playing the move queen e2, simply threatening a checkmate in one. These are so funny things. And now black is forced to play something like queen d5. The best move here was to play the move d5, trying to sacrifice this pawn, which is a theme in IQP. We'll be discussing about IQP in our coming videos so that we can get a clear-cut idea. After you play something like rook a1, we can play the black played the move c6, and again it is white to play. Now white played the move. It is white to play. What should white play? If you are successful in finding the move d5, sacrificing the pawn, then very good. Your concepts are very clear. So why d5? Whenever there is an IQP, and sacrifice the pawn so that our pieces can sit in the d4 square and just dominate the game like it is played. C takes d4, knight d4, king f7, knight e6, threatening queen g4 followed by queen g7 checkmate. So black played the move rook h c8 so that the king side pieces are free. Like after you play the move queen g4, g6, and now white to play, there is a forced winning sequence. How should white play and win here? Knight g5 is a logical move. Now it is white to play. Like how should white win? If you are successful in finding the sequence, then very good. Like it is rook e7, sacrificing the rook. The thing is that if you play queen takes e7, then we are simply playing the move rook takes c8, and we are a piece up. Queen e7, simple rook c8, and we are a piece up after all here in this position. So, that played the move king f8. And again, Knight played the move rook f7. And if you play rook king e8, then we can simply play rook e1 check and winning the game. So black has to play the move king g8, and again white to play. Black is threatening that you cannot capture my queen. Why you can't capture my queen? If you capture my queen, something like queen takes g4, like queen takes d7, then we can simply checkmate you by playing the move rook c1, and all of a sudden white is just totally losing from a winning position. So white is supposed to play something like rook g7 check. So sacrificing the rook again. You cannot capture my rook with the king because queen d7 check, losing your queen. And if you play something like queen takes g7, then again it is rook c8 check, losing a piece. So king h8, and again rook h7, boom. And black sacrificed, like black resigned here. Why? Because if you play something like king g8, again, let's see the sequence. King g8, we can play rook g7, king h8, queen h4, king g7, queen h7, king f8, queen h8, just doing a small zigzag thing. And here, if you play king d8, then it's a simple mate in 3 here after king d7, queen d6, and it is a beautiful checkmate. Now the thing is that what will happen if you play king e8? Similar consequence, we have to do a zigzag, and it's a mate. So king e7, queen f7. So here we have that zigzag, and that is the exact position, and it is a lovely checkmate. So hope you enjoy this video. If you enjoy the video, do subscribe to my channel and like the video, of course, and follow my channel for more amazing contents that will help you in development. So thank you. Bye bye. Take care. Nice day.